When you think about it and you get rid of all the other stuff that comes along with homesteading, the one thing that we are always doing is growing food and building stuff. Now that could be actually physically building something like these raised garden beds, or it can also be building a life that you always dreamt of. Building a life that you're proud of every single day. Growing food and building stuff. And then tomorrow, we're gonna do the same thing over and over again. The days are getting hotter. I can see grass grow now, but at the same time, the grass is not growing fast enough. I also feel like where we live now on this new land, we don't get as much rain as we used to get. I felt like before, it would rain pretty much every night, even just for 5 minutes. It's time to move the egg layers, and we're trying to follow the cows. But we need to leave this lane for the cows because they need to have access to their water. Yeah, as long as it doesn't pour down. I mean, this is our pond area where it would just puddle up here pretty good on a good rain. That didn't work out too good. We have these hills, and we're going over the hill and they just came out. Because we have such compacted ground, we're gonna need a mallet. Never had this problem before at our previous property. The ground was fairly soft, but here it's very hard and clay. I'm thinking we need to keep a mallet with that chicken tractor, with those egg layers, so that way I don't have to keep on searching for a mallet. With this bigger property, I'm learning that every area of the property should have its own toolbox. And that toolbox should stay in that area. I have tools everywhere. I don't know where anything's at. It could be up by the house. Nope, not in the barn. Let's check if the pigs have it. There it is. Thank you. Why, Aunt Shirley, good morning. There's Mary, our meat chicken right there. Hey Mary. So last year we saved a meat chicken, Murray's Big Red Broilers. I guess just to see what would happen. Will she lay eggs? Honestly don't know if she's laying eggs. It's hard to tell, right? I mean, when you have 20 chickens, who's laying an egg? All right, egg layers are moved, fed, watered. Don't forget the mallet. Do not lose the mallet. The meat chickens are moved, fed, watered. You got a lot of vines, a lot of grass too is growing pretty tall here in this spot, but also a lot of thorny bushes and brambles. I need to get rid of those somehow. I'm not moving the 2 cows today. I mean, the 2 steers. They have plenty of grass still from yesterday's move. Even though, man, they plow through this grass, really do. But you can see they're not eating the brambles. They're not eating these viney things. They're here strictly for the grass. Huh? How you doing, beefy boys? When I observe them, I notice that they will maybe put a mouthful of some of these vines in their mouth, but then they'll let it go. Then you have this spot where it's just so bare. I need to put more hay here to cover it, or maybe wood chips. I just spoke to my new wood chip dealer. Well, hopefully he will become my wood chip dealer, and he's supposed to drop off some wood chips at some time. Hopefully he comes through. I could cover this ground with some wood chips. I mean, it's a lot better than leaving it bare. Their tongue is really rough, like sandpaper. I wouldn't say slimy. If you notice, they didn't moo at me this morning. So that means they're happy, right? No moos? No moos, guys. Thank you. Usually get out in the morning, do all the chores, make sure everyone's fed, watered, happy, and then we make sure we're fed, watered, and happy by eating a good, healthy breakfast. And that's our pork from our pigs last year. It's time to figure out where we're gonna put this garden at. I mean, we know we're gonna put it here, and we're gonna figure out like how big this is gonna be at first. So you're thinking starting the garden right here?
Yeah. I know there's a slant, but I think we can work with that.
It's kind of like a swale. Yeah, like a bowl. We're collecting sticks for another future project. If you're a visual person, you know, get some sticks, lay out how big of a bed you want. You know, you want it the width of pretty much your arm so you could reach across. So if it was like 4 feet or 5 feet, then you'd have to walk around and get that in. Maybe 5 feet or 6 feet in between beds.
Yeah. And we don't have to, this doesn't have to be 6 feet. Like it could be wherever the natural flow is, just as long as my goal is I just have some plant starts out there and I just want to get them in the ground or get them in the bed.
We could try 4
beds.
See where that looks like.
Yeah, and then so it also needs to be another 6 feet this way so we could mow this way.
When you think about it and you get rid of all the other stuff that comes along with homesteading, the one thing that we are always doing is growing food and building stuff. Now that could be actually physically building something like these raised garden beds, or it can also be building a life that you always dreamt of. Building a life that you're proud of every single day. Growing food and building stuff. And then tomorrow, we're gonna do the same thing over and over again. Now I'm also using scrap wood. This is my little lumber area here. And just looking around, I do have some 2x6s. I try not to use the 2x6s if I don't have to, you know, just because I might need that long piece one day. Here's some 2x4s that are small, but if I cut these in half, I'll have more wood, you know, because I don't necessarily need this big, wide 2x4. Most days, I feel like I'm going back and forth to the hardware store than I'm actually working on my homestead. Sometimes when you start a new project, it's hard to get into that rhythm. 10% is planning. 80% is going to the hardware store and back multiple times. And 10% is actually building the thing that you want to do. I have my cedar wood, at least I have my cedar wood, and I cut them all to length. I'm halfway done with at least one garden bed. I plan on doing a finish on it. I need long pieces. I have a lot of short cut off pieces and I need long pieces like that. That's my problem. All right, evening chores. Usually in the evening time we collect eggs. I've already fed and moved our meat chickens earlier today, so they should be good. This is our orchard right here. It's got leaves. We got 3 back there, 2 more over here. That was our apple trees that we just planted. So I'm gonna move them out next time, out in this spot. I'm gonna try to make it a habit of when I'm gonna move them, or actually when I moved them this morning. Actually, the last time I moved them, I'm trying to make it a habit of continuing the line here, so that way all I have to do is just open up the gate and they can come in, rather than doing everything all at once in the morning, which that's what I've been doing. So I need to like think ahead. I'm like, okay, well, how am I gonna move them? Where's there gonna be in their next spot? How big do I want it to be? There's a lot of thorny bushes in this spot. They don't eat the thorny bushes. But there's still grass in between them. I mean, this is what I have to work with, you know? These are the first bees on the property, you know? But like, look at this spot. This spot has grass. If I can get them past this part right here with the thorny bushes. I'm just putting up my corner stakes for now. One less thing to do in the morning, you know?